Yo, what's happening, people? And welcome back to the Tiki Taka podcast. We're going to hear hot takes, unbiased opinions, and hopefully have a couple laughs along the way.
Yes.
And happy New Year to
I was
everyone.
going to say, it's the first one.
Yeah. We had our Christmas New Year break. It was good, and we're back now, ready to pod. So yeah, happy New Year. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And football's coming thick and fast. Obviously, FA Cup this weekend. But we're recording this before all of that, and seeing as it is January and there's a transfer window open, we're gonna do our top 10 summer signings from 2024 from the summer transfer window. And just as to preface this, like if you've seen one of our top 10 before, you know how we do it. Ask a bunch of people for their lists, allocate points based on where they put players, and then come up with a combined list. But you guys just need to bear in mind that I asked people for this list about a month ago, a month and a half.
I was going to say more than a month.
And the lists have been coming in at staggered points.
I must have been the last one to give him my list, and it was still a month ago.
Yeah. So we've been finding a time to record this. Obviously, we found one now, but just so just to let you guys know, some guys have made their picks when certain signings were balling and doing well and on the up, and obviously some later on. So I don't know, that might make for a better episode. There might be more guys to talk about. Some guys might have got it right. So we'll go through this. So just a couple top 10 facts. The cost was £320 million for our top 10, which is pretty standard for the Premier League. And just as a point of interest, I thought this could be quite funny to do. I'll give you last year's top 10. We did this episode on the podcast last year. That's something I'm stealing from Filthy. Well, from Tigo.
From Tigo.
So I don't know, is that Filthy? Or...
To my left?
That was a good episode, though. That was a funny episode. So, yeah, last year, I'll read you what we had last year, right? 10th, we had Kai Havertz. And Kai Havertz made it there based off one vote last year. Me, I had him first.
Because you had him first.
And that's why he made it. 9th, Vicario made our list last year.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
8th, Tonali.
To be fair, Vicario, by the time we were probably doing this, Tottenham was still... Do you remember?
We did this when Tottenham were a couple of Tottenham players made it.
They had a heat at the beginning.
They were going to be better than the Invincibles.
Get most points. Exactly.
And a couple of Tottenham players made this. So in 8th, we had Tonali, which now is looking like, makes sense. I mean, even then, I guess so. But obviously with the ban and that, I think that's why he was a bit lower. 7th, we had Doku. Which I remember you had him on your list.
I had him. I
don't know if Doku should be there.
I don't know if Doku should be there either. It's interesting because Doku, kind of like the Tottenham thing, when he came first couple match weeks, he duped us all.
A
couple of assists in
4
his first.
assists.
He was looking tricky winger, and the highlight credentials were serious. But Doku is so interesting because Doku is very good 1v1. Which I guess you can say a lot of wingers are in the Premier League, but like Doku is consistently
he's
good
probably
1v1.
The best.
Yeah, he's consistently good 1v1, but somehow
he might have worse end product than
exactly. But somehow we're saying also I agree with you, shouldn't be on the list.
I've said this before about Doku. He's like it's so weird because he so consistently has terrible end product, so consistently after beating his man. But 6th we had Moussa Diaby, who only did 1 year in the league and then left.
At the time though, he was
on a high.
Yeah,
he fell off second half of the season, but he was on a high. In 5th, we had Van der Ven, who I still think is a good
signing.
player.
Yeah.
4th, we had James Ward-Prowse, who West Ham
last season for West Ham
balled, but Lopetegui decided, he can go on.
I'll get 2 guys. I'll bring in Guido and
Soler. Needless to say, that's the other thing. There's been a couple managerial
changes
since we last podded. So 4th, James Ward-Prowse. 3rd, Dominic Szoboszlai. And this...
So my bad.
This is a my bad from everyone because this is the combined list.
Yeah.
This is... it's not a good look for the podcast.
Dominic Szoboszlai, I think, has 4 Premier League goals. Seriously. From since we've included him in this list.
And Liverpool fans are recording
like right now.
Because Liverpool fans say that the reason their performances haven't been at the level is because Szoboszlai has not been there.
Liverpool, I don't know what to say, man. Szoboszlai, he's got 3 or 4 lungs for sure.
Yeah,
he gets up and down, but he was 75 mil. We can't forget that.
I think I have compared him to Jordan Henderson.
yeah.
I think their games are very similar.
Who cost them 20 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Less than.
Second, Declan Rice.
Fairs.
Nothing to say there. I mean, he probably should have been first because first place was James Maddison. JM10.
Maddo.
And you know what? You can tell when we did this list if Vicario, Van der Ven, and
Madison were in there.
Have made it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we did this literally. I don't even know if Tottenham had lost the game.
Fugazi, Tottenham, man.
And that Maddison heater was a proper.
It was a proper heater.
A proper heater.
It looked like the best 40 million you could have spent by the time we put this list together.
Yeah.
You know. He was Mr. GA.
Fair,
though, he has a decent amount of returns this season. He has like 8 goals, more than something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
come on, man. Salah has 17. Nah, we won't get into that. We won't get into that conversation. So the top 10 for this year, right? That was our top 10 last year. Let us know if you think we got that.
Anything? Yeah, right,
wrong.
Who would you keep? Who would you shuffle around?
I think to be honest, my shout about Kai Havertz. I think.
Yeah.
Considering I was the only one that voted for him, managed to sneak him onto the list.
Second half of the season.
Baller.
Serious baller.
But we'll move it on. So I asked how many people did. I got 6 lists here, 21 different names. So we'll start at 21st with a fan favorite, Aaron Ramsdale. He got 1 vote.
Nick.
Oh my days. Nick had Aaron Ramsdale on his list.
As a top 10.
Bear in mind, this is the last time I'm going to say this because I don't want to keep prefacing this, but I did ask people for their lists at different points. All right, that's not really to say that Ramsdale has had a good
what point?
Form.
At what point has he not picked up?
But just keep that in mind when some of these names come up. But Aaron Ramsdale. I understand why Nick's put him there.
I don't look. I understand from Nick's perspective. I understand why Nick's put him there. That's his guy.
Yeah.
However, I can only really see it from the point of view of Arsenal got semi-decent money for Aaron Ramsdale, and now good riddance.
I think that's part of the reason Nick's put him on there. We got good money for him.
We did get good money for him, but we've said on this podcast, I think a couple of times how it's a bit of a weird one for Ramsdale to go that far down the table. Yeah. After, you cannot cut it at Arsenal. And we all have, whatever opinions we have on Aaron Ramsdale. But we can accept that he's still a good keeper for someone in the top 6 to 8 level.
Yeah.
Southampton have 6 points right now.
Yeah.
In the Barclays Premier League in the middle of Jan.
I even would say he's a top 4 keeper. Like, he got Arsenal to top 4, innit?
I would say he's a top 4 keeper. I agree with that. So this is one of the weirdest. Ramsdale's going to have 3 relegations on his resume confirmed. And he will probably bounce back and get another club. Be it, I don't know, Wolves, Newcastle, whoever.
I was about to say the rumours are that if Southampton go down, Newcastle are going to come for Ramsdale.
Yeah.
And then they'll probably get him for 10.
And you know what? As I say, I can't go back on what I've said. Ramsdale's a good keeper. Ramsdale could be a good keeper for Newcastle. You'd bring a more modern style of football than Pope and Dubravka and all of these kind of guys. But it's so funny how Ramsdale seems like the only keeper immune to the relegation thing. And like no one ever thinks, they've got relegated because of Ramsdale.
Yeah.
And he is a good keeper, but he does pick the ball out of the back of the net every week.
I mean, 3 relegations it's
crazy. At the age of 26 or whatever it is, man. It's crazy.
But to be fair, I think he will move. Can we really see Ramsdale in the Championship?
No, I can't. And also, but it makes it even weirder is like, he said Southampton because home and family and friends
and then to go to Newcastle.
That's what.
Hey, but when you're in the Championship, those
beggars can't be choosers.
Those offers seem a lot more.
Yeah.
And I also think Ramsdale's the kind of guy that thinks that, or he's the kind of guy that was able to allow himself to be sold on a dream by Russell Martin. That this is how we play and this is what we're going to do and we're going to pick up points here and we're going to stay up in the league. And Ramsdale was enjoying all of that. And Ramsdale probably thought, I'll have 2 seasons with Southampton and we'll see what the options are. But he's going straight down. So your agent better be active. Moving on to 20th, we had Iliman and Jai.
Wow.
Got 1 vote from me.
I was gonna say, I thought more people would vote for him. He just missed it off my list.
Yeah. We were talking about, but I really like Njai. I like the way he plays. I like the way he moves with the ball, and I think he's a player that I've not seen Everton have for years.
I agree with that in the sense of like he has genuine quality or has genuine quality within him.
Like he's not in the same bracket of winger as McNeil.
Yeah.
Like,
and there's quality in McNeil. Let's not
exactly. So not just on a quality.
Yeah.
Like him and McNeil in terms of Premier League effectiveness.
Might be the same.
Or McNeil might even be more effective. But Everton don't have Njai type wingers.
I was going to vote for him on the simple fact that I thought he would be the sole reason, or if Everton have a good defense and all this kind of stuff. But I thought they're gonna stay up because Njai has the quality to keep them up. Like he'll win them the games that McNeil and some of these other guys might not be able to win them.
Yeah.
But now that Sean Dyche has gone and Moyes is coming back, it's one to watch. It's definitely one to watch because if the cogs don't get turning quickly, I can see Everton in a bit of trouble here. I can see Everton in a bit. They might not go down.
I think Moyes will do all right.
Moyes obviously is certified Premier League manager. Moyes has done very well in a lot of clubs. I don't think he'll change
too much.
But I think that's the issue. Is like why make a change at all? If the new guy's not going to change too much.
Gave up. Apparently, Sean Dyche told them, "I've taken this Everton team as far as I can."
Oh, no.
After they Everton got new owners.
Group, same guys from Roma.
Yeah. So they came out and publicly backed Sean Dyche, and then Sean Dyche apparently in conversations with them said, "I think I've taken Everton as far as I can."
Seriously.
So after publicly backing him, they then had the perception
had their hand forced
that he'd given up.
I never knew that.
But to be fair, I think Sean Dyche has taken them as far. Like the Everton fans getting on Sean Dyche's back. I don't know what you guys want.
He was going to keep them up.
Exactly, and surely that's just the aim.
Yeah.
Like you guys got slapped with a 10-point deduction, and he still kept you up last year. Like, what more do you want from this guy?
Yeah.
But that's a conversation for another different time. But I just like it the way he plays.
Yeah, no, I thought
he scored a great goal at Man City.
I thought more people potentially should have voted for him, but I can't blame people as well for not watching Everton games. That's fair. That's fully fair enough.
100%.
So,
19th, Max Kilman. He had 1 vote.
A strange one.
£40 million. West Ham haven't been good, but I do think Kilman's a decent player.
Kilman is a decent player, and I think the signing on paper is not a bad signing.
He's fairly young, I think.
He is. He's like 25, 26 or whatever he is. It's a goodish signing, but I don't know if this is like the 6 months where you're like, Kilman's in my...
Yeah.
And I do have a West Ham player.
Maybe next year when we do it and I read out.
Kilman. Someone's third eye is open.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But look, then 18th. This is even worse than Kilman. Gundogan had 1 vote from Stedman.
Seriously?
Yeah. Stedman had Gundogan. Again, I don't know. I ask people for their list at different times, but I think Stead was kind of like we were. To be fair, we were
expecting
that Gundo was gonna
hadn't lost it,
have a period.
Yeah.
At the very least.
Yeah.
Like he might not come and be the same Gundo, but he'll have an 8 to 10 game period.
Yeah. Where he is Gundo.
Exactly. He's winning points.
Yeah.
Like he's doing
the
what
difference.
Gundo does.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So I think Stedman was probably of that opinion, and so
he was a free. He was a free as well, but. Yeah, Gundo's not really pulled up any trees, and
he's done the opposite.
Yeah, I think as well that
he's been exposed.
Man City are looking to sign players, and after they lock down the striker and that defender, they'll bring in a midfielder.
3 midfielders.
Exactly.
They're bringing in 3 midfielders.
Specifically to cover Gundo's legs.
But Pep will find a place for him.
Yeah. And you know what? The worst thing is, there is also, as much as there's time for Kilman, there's time for Gundo. Because if Pep does figure out his team, I can't say he's a luxury player, but like, no one gels better in an already winning team than Gundo.
Yeah.
Gundo will find the formula, and then Gundo will come in and
Agreed.
I'll just do 1-2 and 1-2 here and 1-2-3 here.
Realistically, if Pep can get one midfield signing that's at a level,
yeah,
and he can play like that person as a DM, Gundo and Bernardo or Foden.
And they have new legs up top that can run in behind and stretch things or whatever the hell's going to
go. These guys, but look, we'll see. So, yeah, he had Gundo. I'm calling that a stinker, though. And I'm going to say it now that I don't think next year that will look bad. I cannot see Gundo recovering from this.
Can you see Gundo staying on beyond the season?
Yeah. He's Pep's son.
What, like a managerial, not managerial, sorry, like a sort of...
Yeah, assistant coach.
Yeah. Like, I actually...
Gundo one.
It's pronounced...
If you want to be correct.
I actually can't see Gundo playing many games next season in many, like, any sort of capacity. Pep has to go for younger legs and...
No, but Gundo's going to go straight into the
pipeline, the managerial.
Mikel Arteta.
Yeah.
I'll be the number 2. I'll watch.
Okay, that's where I see him.
Pep, and then after a couple of years, I'll go to
Dortmund. Do you know the board?
I'll manage Dortmund.
Yeah. The X's and O's. Yeah. That's Gundo's now. That's Gundo's thing now.
100%. 100. 17th, Jorginho Rutter. A pick that I quite like. He only got 1 vote. I like him as a player. He looks good. Looks cultured off his left foot.
Works hard, man.
Yeah, looks like he has a bit of X factor. He didn't make my list. I did think there were 10 better signings. I also don't think we've seen enough of him.
Yeah, exactly.
He's been a bit in and out. But whenever I have seen him, he's caused problems.
I like literally, I can agree with that 100%. I don't think there's enough in there for him to be a top 10, but he's definitely not a bad player. He's not a bad signing.
I do think that's one that we could look at next year and be like, we could almost talk about him as like, top 6 clubs should be after him.
You'll have to have a bit of a heater. Like,
I think he could potentially have an Mbeumo type.
No.
Rutter's a good player.
Rutter's a good player, but I don't know. Mbeumo's getting serious numbers.
Maybe not the level of Mbeumo, but an Mbeumo type rise.
Okay, well, I'll hold my breath.
Amorim needs his 10s. 16th, I think his first name is Dean Huijsen.
Yeah,
Housen, I don't know how you say it. Michael had him. Only person that did.
Seriously?
Yeah. But again, like, I don't think Dean Housen made his debut till
later on in the season.
Month and a half.
Yeah.
2 months ago. So
it's just that.
But since then, he's been very, very good.
Yeah, it's just the whole, like, Juventus let him go.
Yeah.
Bournemouth picked him up. He's like 19, 20 years old.
Yeah.
And his passing off both feet is ridiculous.
Yeah.
His passing off his like
he's at the Gatti learning.
Yeah,
the Federico Gatti learning.
I think this Dean Housen guy, or however you pronounce it, is I can't say a serious talent because he's kind of like Pau Torres. He's kind of like that style of defender where it's like I can't even necessarily say they've been bred for the Premier League. But these managers of Iriola and Emery, they have systems where you need a guy who's this comfortable on the ball. Yeah. And Bournemouth have found they found their guy who's that comfortable on the ball, and I see him passing into midfield. And
Bournemouth have 3 of them.
yeah.
Cavani, Senesi. They all look. Senesi, he's the left-footed.
Senesi's very serious.
But no, he's been very good. Guys are asking why Juve let him go. He scored against United and Tottenham this season.
Yeah. He's a good player, man. He's one to watch.
Guys are saying Senesi might not get back in the team.
No, he might. He's not. It's Dean's team now. Chill guy. He's Mr. Chill guy.
I was going to say maybe at left back, but Milos Kerkez.
Yeah.
I don't know if he can get in there.
Kerkez won't stay there for long, though. The way guys are hooking onto Kerkez.
Kerkez won't be there past the summer. Kerkez won't be there past the summer. But 15th, Mikel Merino.
He should have been on mine.
Had 1 vote from me. I had him 7th. And this is an interesting one because I feel like this is a player we need to talk about. We haven't really spoken about him in any the pod roundups or whatever that we've done. Personally, I think Mikel Merino's done all right at Arsenal.
I would agree with that.
I don't think he's been poor, and I don't think he's been great. But I think he's been
a good squad player,
a necessary addition. So basically the same thing.
Yeah,
a necessary addition because he's a good squad player.
Yeah. I do think
he can come in, and the level doesn't seem to drop too much, right? And the biggest example of that recently, I know he scored against Liverpool, and that was Brentford.
Yeah.
Declan Rice in the team. The midfield is Partey, Merino, and Odegaard. and Marino scores, and the level doesn't seem to drop too much.
Yeah.
Which is all you can ask from a squad player.
Yeah. Even the Brian one, you gets an assist.
Yeah. So,
you know,
and I'm still of the opinion that I don't think we've seen the best of Marino. I still think he's somewhat adapting to the league and getting to the level, and I still think we can see more from him. But there are a lot of Arsenal fans that
don't
see what he brings at all.
Nick.
They say he plays the game in 0.25 speed. I think that he was essentially a waste of a signing.
I think Arsenal have done that to themselves a little bit, because it was unclear when we were pursuing Marino why we were pursuing him. Is it to be a starter? Is it to be a squad player? Guys thought that with Marino here, it's over. It's Rice, Marino, Odegaard. That's it.
But I don't think that's Arsenal's fault. I put down someone else.
So, all right. So what I will say then is, and I'll let you come back, is I agree with your point. I think Marino's he's been all right. There's been games where I see it. He keeps things ticking. He plays the right pass. His weight of pass is there, and all this kind of stuff. He's eager to crash the box. All these other elements that he's adding. But I think where I do sympathize with fans or hear fans' POV is when it's like we chased him all summer.
Yeah,
we chased him all summer. The price went up 5 mil every time. It was first going to be 25 mil and then 30 mil and then needed to be 35 mil to get him over the line type stuff. So I think fans had an expectation that he was going to be of a certain like hit the ground runningness, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of what has held back his judgment in a lot of fans' eyes is we've chased you all summer for you to then just be a good rotational piece in the team. Why did we chase you all summer then if you're just a rotational piece in the team? And then there's also the whole like he's 28, there's no resale value.
That part's definitely on Arsenal.
Yeah,
because we were saying at the time, like, is it better to haggle over 10 million for Marino or just pay the extra 10 million and have him here now?
Yeah, we were saying that in the summer.
Like Marino, the other thing is he's not had a preseason. And we've signed Marino because last year, between Partey's injuries and Jorginho having to play and Havertz coming into midfield, we knew we needed a midfield player that could play 28, 30 games. Yeah. Which Mikel Marino is, But unfortunately, he came and Gabriel
injury and
wanted to show him who the little monster was and landed on his shoulder. But since then, he's come back, he's been fit and whatever. I think the problem is that nobody at Arsenal expected Thomas Partey to be fit for this long. Right? Not even to be at the level he's been at, because we know Thomas has quality. And Partey's probably been our best midfielder this year. Right? Because I don't think other guys have really been at the level. But he's also been available for
more than
every game.
More than we can believe.
If he needs to play right back, he plays right back for 90. If he needs to play midfield, he plays in midfield. And because of that, Marino's minutes are kind of less and they're interchanged and whatever. Normally, and I did say this in the summer, we'll sign a midfielder and Partey will be fit all season. You remember me saying that?
I do.
Because that's just Arsenal. That's just what happens, We sign a guy because, maybe this guy isn't the Reinders or whatever, he's fit the whole season. That's what we really need.
When we need a body, he's the body.
Exactly. But Partey's now that guy. He's fit all season. So I think that's also played a part. We always say we have 4 locks and whatever, but I think the fan base maybe just needs to be a bit more patient with Marino.
I agree with that. I think I agree with, because I was one of the fans at the beginning of the summer who wanted the like big money signing,
especially in midfield.
Bruno G or
Frankie
De Jong or whoever it was going to be, because I thought we need to transform this. We need to transform this midfield. So I see it now in terms of the profile and why Mikel Marino has been brought in. I also see what he brings to the team, but I understand why fans might think that this isn't worth 35 mil at this exact point in time. But I think at the end of the season, I think if there was to be an injury to Partey, if there was to be an injury to potentially Rice or whoever, and Marino is fit and available and 28 and crashing boxes and playing the right passes and
doing all the good stuff,
we will be like, okay, it makes sense now.
Yeah.
So that's why I agree with your point in terms of it's maybe worth having him in the top 10 because by the end of the season he could be of a top 10, especially if Arsenal finish in top 2 or 3 positions, whatever it might be, and win cups, and the squad has been used. Like to the fullest, and we start to see
especially like deeper we go in competitions and whatever. But we'll go through these ones fairly quickly. 14th Mazraoui, he had 3 votes.
There was that hype. I told and it's not that Mazraoui. To be honest, not a bad player.
I do think Mazraoui could have made the top 10.
He's not been a bad player.
He didn't make my list purely because I wanted to get Ndiaye on my list, but that 10th spot could have gone to Mazraoui. But I think for the price tag as well.
Yeah.
I think the price tag is almost the biggest part of why he should be in this list.
I think also, but I know that there was that like 3-week period where it was like Mazraoui could do no wrong. And Man United fans were saying that Mazraoui's here and he needs to be doing.
But it's just because it's technical level. Man United fans haven't seen something like that. Right? Us Arsenal fans, we've seen Tomiyasu, we've seen Ben White, we've seen Timber, we've seen Zinchenko. Man United fans have been starved. The Luke Shaw and Dallo and Malacia and Rojo.
The Rojo of it all. Yeah.
All of that. They haven't seen a guy with technical quality. But I think for 15 million, I think he's a very good right back. And I think he could have been in the list. Maybe a bit harsh, he's not.
Do you see, though, a way forward for Mazraoui now that the system's changed? Is he a wing back? Is he a right back? Is he a right centre back?
I think there's a place for Mazraoui in the Man United team, at the very least, as a squad player.
For 15 mil, yeah.
Because he can play right centre back.
As you say, maybe the price tag is everything.
He can play left centre back if he needs to play there.
If
he needs to play there and whatever. But I do think that there's. It's difficult because I think, especially in Amorim's system, I think his wingers, he wants his wing backs or wingers or whatever to be able to
get up and down,
basically be wingers. Right? Beat a man 1v1.
Box
and whatever. I don't think Mazraoui is that. So I think ultimately he might end up being somewhat of a squad player.
But they'll take that, to be fair, for 15 minutes.
But yeah, exactly.
He'll come in and do a decent
job. I don't think it will be too dissimilar to maybe like
Monreal.
Obviously, there's a quality difference, but in terms of just the like idea of like a Timber and a Ben White.
Oh, okay, a backup.
Yeah, of like, but who's the backup? Who are you talking about? I don't know who you're talking about.
I think
you know what I'm saying. It could be a bit like that. Of like, there will definitely be certain games where whoever Amorim's winger is, like,
I think it's more of a maybe Gibbs Monreal
situation. Yeah. Well, I said not in the quality.
Yeah.
So maybe I Gibbs Monreal.
Any one of you guys can start.
Yeah.
It's a Gibbs game today, I think. No, it's a Monreal game.
Yeah. But Bentancur Basuma.
Yeah.
Bentancur Basuma. We can leave it there. 13th, Savinho. Savinho got 2 votes.
That's bold because he hasn't even scored until just the other day.
Yeah. But I like Savinho. Savinho looks like a good player.
He was on my like one to watch list in the summer. Do you remember I was sending you tweets when he was scoring for Brazil in the summer?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no, City have got this guy.
Pep's got this guy, but he needs to add in products. Like,
he's only recently started to do that, but he cooked
so far.
Yeah. Come on to a reason as to why I chose somebody else in my top 10.
In 11th place, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Sofa's replacement. He got 3 votes. You obviously had him in your list. He could have made mine.
That's a good deal for West Ham, man.
Very good deal. Very good signing.
And I know we were just killing Kilman, but I think it's different somehow. Because the reason I think it's different, and I guess you could kind of say it's the same thing actually, because it used to be Craig Dawson or whoever it was playing for West Ham at the back. But I was like, we knew Soufal last season had to have been his last season as a starting right back in this league. Yeah. And they've gone and picked up a 25, 26-year-old, 27-year-old Wan-Bissaka. Yeah, he was bombing all the experience, bombing up and down.
Yeah,
has for West Ham is like he's not a bad forward going fullback. West Ham. West Ham don't need the end product that United or X, Y, and Z team up in the table. Yeah. But Wan-Bissaka defensively, he's got that. He's gonna do his
play
job.
right back and left.
He's going to play hard against any of the top wingers and all this kind of stuff. And as well, he wasn't that much money for them.
Yeah.
And so far, we just saw what Savinho did to him. He's done in this.
No, I agree. Wan-Bissaka's been a good, or even if he hasn't been yet, he will be a good signing. But into our top 10 now, and the first person that makes it in 10th place is Xander Berger, who was third. He was 6th on my list, 6th on your list as well, I think. We both had him 6th. We've spoken about Xander Berger before.
Xander Berger's serious. Xander Berger's a good DM.
Very good player.
He's a good DM.
We didn't see it too much last year at Burnley, but there is company tax.
Exactly.
I think Company was trying to play him as like a furthest free in the midfield with like Josh Brownhill and then man behind him, Josh McCullough. I don't know what was going on there, but Xander Berger's gone to a proper team with a proper manager, and Marco Silva's told him, your role in this Premier League
is to do this.
You do what Onana does at Villa, you do what Declan Rice does at Arsenal, you do what all these similar players in your position, and he's taken to it like a duck like water. He's been balling there.
I told you the game I saw it was when they played Brentford at home, I believe, and it was like Fulham were Brentford had scored a screamer from Yana, and Fulham were cooking Brentford.
All game.
Brentford, anytime they tried to get a pass out, Xander Berger straight in there, win, mine, get back, pass to Smith Rowe, pass to Reece, pass to
the recycle.
And it was all game. I've never seen just one man keep a team so pressed up in the corner.
But then where he shows his levels is he does that sort of thing, which is almost like as much as winning that ball back, it's possession. Play the pass. We spoke about him after we played them. And that was just I'm just a destructive.
I'm just exactly crunch.
I'm just João Palhinha.
I'm just going to grab this one.
I'm just going to be João Palhinha.
That 50-50 in the middle of midfield. You're 10.
I'm going to win that and foul him. Win that and injure him.
You have to come ready to fight, bro, for balls in midfield if Xander Berger's there. And I think with Fulham losing Palhinha, as you've mentioned, and replacing him with Xander Berger, it's a top 10 signing. It's a good deal.
Credit Marco Silva. Don't think they paid too much for him either. And that sort of player in this Premier League, man, is priceless. The athleticism he brings,
and also he has no ego. He has I'm just here to work.
Well, he's been at Sheffield, Burnley. Can't really have an ego. But 9th place, David Raya. Now David Raya had 2 votes. Michael actually had him first,
of course.
And I will say that David Raya would have been on my list if I had known that
he was a signing.
Include him. I just completely skipped past that, assumed he was an Arsenal signing last year. He was actually only on loan last year. Arsenal paid a fee this year, whatever, FFP loopholes, PSR loopholes.
They're there to be exploited.
They want to go through. He wouldn't have been my number one, even so, but he definitely would have been on my list. But
no, he was my number one. As you say, when we did this about a month ago, I was just thinking about how good Raya had been, especially at the beginning of the season. Double saves in Champions Leagues and big saves in
Villa Park.
Villa Park. There was a Liverpool save, I think. I remember. Raya has been solid for us, man. And if you think about it, Roberto Neto is not going to play a single game of football for us this season.
Well, he might play on Sunday.
Oh, the FA Cup.
That's the only cup. That's the only competition he can play in. He's cup tied.
I hope he doesn't. I hope he doesn't play for us on Sunday. To be honest with you.
Well, Binder's playing.
Let's not. You don't need to do this. We don't need to do this. I just think that Raya has been a solid 7, 8 out of 10 every week, and some of these weeks he's been a 9. Some of these weeks, he's
majority of them.
Yeah, he's barely put a foot wrong. He's stood up to be counted for in a lot of games, and I just think that it was good business for Arsenal to get it done. And I do feel as if, I don't know, it's tough because of Arsenal's positioning and all this kind of stuff, but he's been a huge part as well of our defensive solidarity over the last 2 years. A massive part.
Oh, I was about to say, I genuinely think he might be And it's never good when a goalkeeper's the answer to this question, but he genuinely might be our best player this
season. Yeah, well, most consistent. Like I'm just gonna put in this performance every week.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. He's been so good this season.
Yeah, and as I say,
even his stuff in possession.
Yeah,
even in the Newcastle game, that we lost midweek, there was a point where the Newcastle press is high.
It's serious.
It's suffocating us. And David Raya just found the spare man.
This one.
Here's Declan Rice. Now you got 25 yards of space.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. I just watch it and I'm like, great pass, David Raya. Great pass.
No, I think he's been a very, very, very good signing for us. And yeah, long may it continue.
You called it, to be fair. I think in our predictions, you just kind of said that Raya, without the like kind of pressure of the Rams
thing,
he'll just go up another level.
Shown that.
8th place. A guy me and Michael talk about a lot.
It's a shame, actually.
A Portuguese league veteran. Yeah, he did just get injured.
Yeah.
Recently, Evanilson. He had 3 votes, and Nick had him first.
Seriously,
Nick had him.
Do you know why?
And I hear it. I hear it.
We should probably.
Our Bournemouth have got Evanilson. We saw Evanilson in round of 16 Champions League last year.
We should potentially give a my bad, because I remember we were laughing at Bournemouth for spending 40 or whatever it was on Evanilson when Eddie was there for 20. Or 25 or whatever we were saying. Yeah. But as you say,
I'm gonna let Eddie hold that one.
Portuguese vet. Wily character, he's in the box. Some of the finishes we've seen this season from Evanilson.
So only a vet would score.
And I think, and I was telling you this, like I've just never seen a guy so nailed on to score between Boxing Day and New Year's. Than Evanilson. Like it's just first year in the league, but I'm looking at him and I'm like, oh yeah, this guy in these winter months,
South American, he's gonna get it done.
Well, Evanilson's been really good for Bournemouth, man. He's been really good. Then
he scores those proper striker goals.
Yeah, the one versus Chelsea.
Even the penalties that he wins.
Yeah.
It's just so like he knows to leave his leg in there. He knows how to fall and how to get Saliba sent off.
It started off slowly. I remember he had like the first 3 or 4 weeks. It wasn't really going for him, and unfortunately now he's injured. But
in terms of the Eddie thing. It's mad because last year it was Eddie goes and he scores 15 from
wherever he goes.
So I mean Eddie should be on this list by that.
Eddie should be on this list.
Eddie's not on the list.
You'll be thankful to know.
I don't think that's a spoiler. He hasn't scored a single Premier League goal, but I'm not holding that, my bad. Eddie can hold that one because I backed you and I defended you. Right?
What do Bournemouth do though with Evanilson out and they've lost?
The other guy,
and now
they're saying Semenyo 9.
Wow, Semen 9.
AS9. But
they need him back as soon as.
7th place, Dominic Solanke. 3 votes. Bat had him first, as expected.
He was the closest guy.
He was in my list.
He was the closest guy to not make my list. Like I had him in like my first 3 initial drafts, but I was like, am I only having Solanke in because he's like a notable signing of the season, or do I generally think he's a top 10 signing of the season?
Yeah.
And I still don't know, because I don't think Solanke is a bad player. I'm not here to kill him and say that he's this and that and he's terrible. He's not. He's a good player, but obviously I don't know if he's. I just don't know. The reason I left him off is because I just don't know if he's actually scored enough for me to be like, or scored enough important goals for me to be like, yeah, this is 65 mil. This is a striker.
I hear that.
But in terms of what he brings to Tottenham, where he holds it up and he lays it off and he keeps it moving and he's mobile and like he does score some goals. But I was just kind of hoping, because he had 19, 20 goals, whatever it was last year, 18 goals, whatever it was, that we would at least have 10 by now.
Yeah.
You know,
I think I had Solanke 8th, and I agree with everything you're saying, but the reason I've got Solanke on my list, I don't know if you remember last year, I had Højlund on my list. Yeah. And you laugh, right? And it looks bad. On paper, it looks bad. Yeah. But I said at the time when we did it that Højlund is not in my list because of any sort of quality or anything that he's shown me. he's on my list because Martial's the alternative. Right? If Man United don't sign Højlund, they're relying on Martial to play as their 9. They're relying on Rashford to do a shift there or whatever goes on. So Højlund made my list because they just had to sign a striker. It's a similar sort of thing here in terms of if Tottenham don't sign Solanke, they have to go with Son at striker again for another year.
I think that's better though. I think Son.
Well, we saw it work with Maddison for the heater period.
Yeah.
Right, but then it kind of fell off, and when Son's coming up against Gabriel and Saliba, now it's looking a bit sticky. If it's not Son, it's Richarlison, but Richarlison never seems to be fit. It was that similar sort of thing.
I completely forget that Richarlison is part of the Tottenham setup
because he's never fit.
Completely forget.
Apparently he's back in training now, but he literally hasn't been fit all season. So that's why Solanke's on my list, because I think, and he is better than Højlund. Yeah, he's got more quality. He had something to Tottenham, but mainly because if they don't sign Solanke, I think it just looks problematic for them.
I kind of agree with what you're saying, but I think it's in a weird place because it's so painstakingly obvious, at least to me, that 3 years ago Son was done as a touchline winger.
Yeah.
Son put in his last good performance as a touchline winger about 3 years ago. Since then, Tottenham have been asking him, because they've signed Richarlison for 65 and Solanke for 65. They're asking him, still, can you please give us a little something? They're even saying now, let's extend Son 1 more year, but we know he's not going to play down the centre.
But he also can't play down the centre for a serious team.
But I also agree with your point of like Son versus a Gabriel Saliba partnership, a Konate Van Dijk partnership. Yeah. You don't get what Solanke just gave them the other day. You don't get that. Yeah. But I think the more times that, like the amount of times that Solanke's been through on goal this season, Son scores those chances.
He probably scores more goals,
You know, so
like I think Son still scored 17 goals last
As I say, I'm not here to kill Solanke because I do think he's a good player. That's the only reason I left him off the list, is because I think he could be Tottenham's second best striker. So how can he be my top 10?
Yeah.
You know,
if you give me the choice of the two of them to play striker, I would pick Solanke though.
He does bring more to the role,
because I know what the Son one looks like. It's very Aubameyang.
Yeah.
You know, when Aubameyang used to play up top and go away from home, and it doesn't even need to be a Gabriel and Saliba. It could be a Guéhi and Lacroix. It could be an Anderson and a Diop, an Anderson and a Bassi. Like it just doesn't look great. But yeah, Solanke in 7th. In 6th place, Liam Delap got 5 votes.
Serious striker.
You had him 4th. You're talking about the goals there for Solanke. I think Delap has 10 goals.
Yeah, somewhere around there. 8 or 9 at bare minimum. I think Delap, man, the reason I had him 4th was because, and maybe even now more so, I don't really see Everton going down, but I think if Ipswich are ever to stay up, it's because Delap has hit 16, 17. You know,
monster season.
Exactly, monster season. So that's why I had him that high up in the list, where it's like he's a top 10 signing, because very rarely do you see a promoted club go and grab a quote unquote serious striker. They always try and like, oh, we'll do this with this guy, and we'll
not even just a serious striker. The most important thing for those promoted clubs is a goal scorer.
Yeah.
Like
that's the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah, someone that a bagsman.
That's the point I'm trying to make, and you know, Ipswich have done that with Delap, and have done that well. I think 16 mil or whatever they spent on him, is money well spent. Because even if they do go down, but he has a 13, 14 goal a season campaign, if he decides to stay with Ipswich for that one season in the Championship, Ipswich know we have a guy that can do it at this level. Yeah, we just need to get the rest of our team in order.
I think that'll be difficult
to keep him
if they go down.
Yeah.
You're already hearing Chelsea and United and
give the audition done. He said Chelsea has us in audition over.
Matisse was saying Delap. Cool. Enough.
We don't need to see anymore.
Yeah. We've seen audition. Good. We'll take you. We'll come in the summer. But no, I think Liam Delap's been great for Ipswich. Not only the goals he scored. I was talking to you about the Chelsea game though, bro. Like the way he relieves pressure. Like Ipswich have 11 men behind the ball. Someone kicks it long. The lap hunt. The lap get onto it. The lap drive. The lap shot, win a corner. It's his P&P, his athleticism, his finishing ability. He's also a bit of like a throwback in like, he's just ready to shoot on sight.
On sight. That's what either foot. I'll just slap this one left. I'll slap this one with my right.
Yeah.
You know,
his pens always seem to hit the side netting.
He's a good player.
Yeah, I think he's been a very good signing for Ipswich. When they signed him for that money from Man City, I wasn't sure, but he's proved it. But 5th place,
top 5.
My guy Ricardo Calafiori got 5 votes. Me and Nick had him 4th. Michael had him 10th, unfortunately. But
that's only because of minutes.
He should be higher than that just for his goal. I'll tell you what, yeah. Calafiori's 4th on my list, and the 3 above him are 3 players that I do genuinely love, to be honest. Like, I love watching those 3 play. But if it hadn't been for those 3, I so easily could have put Calafiori
first. Have it sting. You're nasty.
So easily could have put Calafiori first because he scored goal of the season.
Yeah, that's locked in.
At the Etihad.
We know that's locked in.
Not Arsenal's goal of the season.
Yeah, Premier League goal of the season. We know that's locked in.
At the Etihad, on his debut, full debut, go 1-0 down.
Manager. Grips in.
We have our own stories about that day, the day before. Nick knows. But we didn't think we'd score that day. We were crying out for some X factor that's not Bukayo Saka. If Bukayo Saka's getting locked up by 3 players,
Ake and Akanji,
and then the midfielder and winger is coming back and doing a shift. Can someone else please? And Ricardo Calafiori stepped up and showed us that, okay, cool, I'll just hit this one.
Yeah, I think
he should be higher in yours just for that goal.
He should be higher in mine just for the goal. As I say, the only thing that is annoying me with Calafiori is like, bro, just make 3 matchday squads in a row. Why is it like you'll play this one and then it's all right, we'll miss up that one and then you'll come back and then 2 weeks later you're ready and fit again. But I like the profile of Calafiori. He's good on the ball. He's good defensively. He always tries his best. He competes for every header, X, Y, and Z. And I do think, similar to some of the names you mentioned, I think later on in the season, and hopefully when he's able to put a run of 5 or 6 games together, we'll look at Calafiori and be like, oh yeah, that's a left back, or that's that left side of Arsenal. That's locked down now, 100%. And we're not. It's not like the Zinchenko question marks and whoever Kiwior question marks or whatever it is in that channel. Yeah. You've got a tick box that's ticked.
Although Lewis Kelly's doing his best.
No, Lewis Kelly,
that doesn't happen.
Lewis Kelly's a very, very, very serious guy.
He's doing his best to make sure that we can't say the left back position is locked.
And I think the good thing about Calafiori as well as a signing is just
how many other clubs wanted him.
Exactly. And how it was like Arsenal won him.
Nobody beats out Flo Perez when he wants a guy.
Yeah, everybody had the
somehow, and we know Madrid needs centre backs. Yeah, somehow Calafiori has decided he wants to come to Arsenal.
Madrid can't help themselves can't stop themselves from signing a good-looking centre back. That's their thing. And
Liverpool and Chelsea were sniffing.
Yeah, I just love how it came together so quickly, and I won Arsenal and all of this kind of stuff.
Especially because he did well in the Euros.
Yeah.
Guys were saying that's Italy's best defender. Price is getting up and everything. But Arsenal had obviously done their due diligence before that. As much as I banter about the goal, which is a great goal, and I can't say enough about that goal. He's also made my list, and he's also 4th on my list because the left-hand side was a problem last season.
Yeah.
For Arsenal. Obviously, guys will say it still looks like a problem this season, but I think Calafiori will go a long way to fixing that problem.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is just purely to do with having a naturally left-footed player on that side.
Yeah.
You can maybe go on and overlap, maybe put the ball in. Obviously, we've spoken about angles before and whatever.
But
our only other one is Zinchenko. Before, obviously, Lewis Kelly this year. We know Zinchenko can't be in there.
Yeah. But even like Kiwior, you could say is a naturally left-footed player.
Yeah.
But there's a difference between what you get from a Calafiori pass and a Kiwior pass. Like Calafiori's got that on the ball where he's like, I'm comfortable, give and go.
And also Kiwior is very much a centre back.
Yeah.
Right. We've spoken about Arteta giving him the Nathan Ake learning.
Yeah.
Now,
program
you're
this.
going to play left back.
Yeah.
Because you need to be able to deal with 1v1 situations, even when you play centre back. So play left back for the first 4 years of your Premier League career.
Yeah.
And then we'll transition you.
I
think Calafiori, we both said that we were thinking of play centre back, but I think he's very much can play left back.
Yeah.
I think he enjoys getting into
attacking positions.
Exactly, play positions further up the pitch.
There's a level of comfort that we have though, even when he's in those attacking positions. And maybe goal, Man City, but like,
and there's more dynamism to Kiwior.
exactly.
Is very.
It's
stiff.
very stiff.
It's very stiff.
It's very.
I like
stiff.
it real, but
yeah.
yeah.
We're asking you to drop back 5 yards. Calafiori might be like
Kiwior can be a left back from we need to shut up shop and but Calafiori, the dynamism, the athleticism going forward.
We'll never see Kiwior play a one-time ball. Like you see the one to Declan Rice versus
with the outside of
we'll never see Kiwior play that ball versus who was that game?
Palace. Even a 1-2. You won't see Kiwior play a 1-2 and burst down the outside but we've seen Calafiori do that
every game.
And I just think that the more Calafiori plays, the more he gets used to the league and everything, his teammates, I just think that will go up. So in 4th place now, and there was a pretty big jump between 5th place and 4th place in terms of the votes. 6 people had this guy, so that's literally everyone. Everyone I asked had this guy in their list, and Nick had him the highest in 3rd. Nikola Milenkovic, Nottingham Forest new centre back. Stedman said the other day that if an asteroid was coming to Earth, he'd ask Milenkovic to head it away.
yeah. Which and he's not wrong.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and he's not wrong. He's asked the right guy.
Milenkovic looks like he's 9'6", so he's going to meet the asteroid first. So get that away. And Nottingham Forest 3rd in the league, the defensive record, all of that speaks to itself.
Goals, it all comes into it, innit?
They signed him from Fiorentina.
Yeah.
And what he looked this good there, or
I have no idea. I can't say that I watched too much of Milenkovic before the league, and I think that's why a lot of people have voted for him is because I don't know. I feel like, and I was saying this year, Serbian centre backs have one mode. Yeah, it's crash, bang, clatter, wallop. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but it's always like, when Nottingham Forest and Nuno sign a Serbian centre back, I don't think you expect this much quality though, or this much even like level-headedness. And there's not been a red card, and there's not been a like.
Well, that's a Serie A learning.
So I give Milenkovic big credit, man. I just think he's done well. He sat next to Murillo. And he said, all right, we'll just make this work then.
Yeah.
I see your left foot, and I see the way you like to ping balls, and I see the way you do this, and I'll just do the opposite.
Yeah. 100%.
I'll win every challenge.
Yeah. So well.
I'll win every challenge. I'll win every header.
Yeah.
I'll make sure that I'm talking and communicative and shouting.
Everything.
Yeah.
I'll get my leg on that, my knee on that, whatever it takes. No, Milenkovic has been brilliant. He scored a goal at Old Trafford.
Yeah, man. Get off me. Bang.
He's at 6'5". Very good signing.
27, bro.
Yeah, very good signing from Nottingham Forest, and it goes to show where they are in the table. But 3rd place. Now, these top 3, funnily enough, are the 3 players that were in my top 3 of my list that I was talking about. That only these 3 players could, because I had Calafiori above Milenkovic, I had Calafiori above all these guys. And because I put Kai Havertz first last year, I really wanted to put Calafiori first again. Man. But in 3rd place, ex-Arsenal player, Emil Smith-Rowe, got 5 votes. Stedman had him first. Me and you, I had him second, you had him third.
Yeah.
I think Emil Smith-Rowe is a very good signing for Fulham. I think Marco Silva's using him in the right way as well.
Yeah.
And I think that's helping him a lot. He's not playing Emil Smith-Rowe in every game, because I don't think every game is an Emil Smith-Rowe game. Whereas another manager might just think, we'll pay
quality player,
whatever for you.
He also knows his body can't do that.
Yeah. But Marco Silva still sanctioned the fee and everything, because he knows that the attacking quality and the X factor that Emil Smith-Rowe can bring in 80 to 90% of the games that we do need him for can be the difference.
Yeah, 100%, man. I think Marco got this right. It was a good deal for both parties at the time. And I think the thing about Smith-Rowe, man, is he is capable of being a franchise player. Yeah. And I think that the marriage with Fulham is that Fulham are a good team. Fulham, compete for mid-table positions in the Premier League and Europe sports and all this kind of stuff. And with Smith-Rowe, I think all of that is more than plausible and possible for Fulham, man. I think he's the one who knits it all together for them. And if Muniz and Rodrigo, same player. If Raul Jimenez and Rodrigo Muniz are to go on quote unquote like Hito or whoever Fulham are going to bring on next and all this kind of stuff, it's because Smith-Rowe is He's going to make them look nice. Smith Rowe's going to put it on the plate for them. Smith Rowe's going to do the 1-2 stuff that's going to get people into open spaces and
link Sander Berge's pass to the forward.
Exactly, man. Exactly. I think, as we say, Marcus Silva got it spot on with a lot of his signings, to be honest with you. But Smith Rowe and making him a mantelpiece in this Fulham team for years to come, because as much as it's a top 10 summer signing for this season, I think, man, it's a future-proof signing for Fulham.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to need Smith Rowe over the next 4 to 5 seasons. And if they can get whatever they can get out of him over 4 to 5 seasons, and we'll see what happens at that point when his contract's up. It will be money well spent, and it'll be well worth it for
and
Fulham.
The Fulham fans love him already.
Yeah, we know he loves Fulham, and we know he's loving it his time at Fulham. He's still in London. I get to go out, and
yeah, he's definitely. But yeah, what do you think of? Because I'm pretty sure you'll agree that like there are some games that aren't Emil Smith Rowe.
100%, man.
But there are definitely
Brentford away.
There are definitely some managers who, if they sign Emil Smith Rowe, play him every week.
Especially if they have like asked the club to spend 35-40 million on a player.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they would play him every week. But I think that's the luxury that Marcos Silva has, because it's not his first season at Fulham. So it's like he's put together a team. He knows he's got Andreas Pereira. He knows he's got Iwobi.
Yeah.
He's brought in Reece on loan. He knows he's got
Lukic.
Lukic. Smith Rowe was saying is an underrated player.
Adama.
So it's like it's there. There's minutes for Smith Rowe, there's minutes for Lukic, there's minutes for all of these guys, man. And I think
I would still call Smith Rowe a starter for sure. But I just think it helps Smith Rowe to not be kind of showcased in a game at Anfield where it's end to end.
No Fulham fan would create their starting side and not include Smith Rowe.
Yeah.
So he's 100% a starter for them. It is just smart from Marcus Silva, because there is 100% games that are not Smith Rowe games.
Yeah. It's just good management.
Yeah,
it's just good management.
It's by nature.
In second place with 5 votes, Oman had him first.
I can't believe I didn't vote this guy.
Expected. Pedro Neto, who was third on my list. I can't believe you didn't vote him either. I think you said about the goals.
Yeah.
Which has always been a Pedro Neto thing.
Yeah.
But it's almost as if like he's the anti-Salah. Right? Like Pedro Neto will end the season with like a 4-4 or a 4-5, but like those 4 goals have won his team 10 points.
Yeah.
And like his all-round game and what he offers, and look, that's not me defending him. He should get more goals. He should get more assists. He's a forward player. He's playing in a good team. Obviously, he hasn't got that excuse of like, oh, he's at Wolves and now he's at Chelsea. But I just think Pedro Neto is such a quality player. I think he causes any fullback in the league problems. And there's not much more you can really ask for from your. I think he's got X factor as well.
No,
not
he definitely
much more
does.
you can ask for from your winger.
Pedro Neto is such an interesting signing, because he is a good signing, and 60 million is a lot of money. But I can see why you can convince yourself that Pedro Neto was worth that, because you're right. It's like Pedro Neto might score 3 goals a season, but everybody will know the 3 goals that we're talking about, because it'll be 90th minute and he'll chop the winger down, and and
he'll win you 3 points.
So the reason, the only reason I didn't have him in my list was because I can't say that he's a top 10 summer signing if I feel as if he's gone for 60 and will only get 4 goals.
It's a similar thing to Solanke.
Yeah. It's a very similar thing to Solanke. But like Solanke, I know that this is a good player.
Yeah.
Like I know that this is
different.
better. It's a better player than Solanke, but similar thing. Like I know that this for Chelsea, this is a good player. I just wished for Pedro Neto, and I thought it would have happened by now, that, and maybe it's just Maresca's management style. I just thought for sure that after a couple of games, we would see why Pedro Neto is light years ahead of Noni. In the right wing position, and to give Noni some credit.
But Noni did his thing.
Noni's done his thing
this season, especially.
Noni's done his thing for sure. I just was expecting that to be like a formality of like, by the way, what Pedro Neto gives us here is more than what Noni gives us, with no disrespect to Noni.
But it's almost like they're 2 perfect options for a manager, because Noni is almost more GA focused, and Pedro Neto is more of like
Noni. I know Noni hates to square it.
Yeah.
If he's running down on goal,
Pedro Neto won't think twice.
Yeah.
I'll put this one across.
I'll join the celebrations. I'll be happy with
it. João Felix.
Yeah, exactly.
We saw that one earlier in the season. But no, I think Pedro Neto is an absolute baller. we had loads of conversations about,
and he can play on both wings. I also didn't think.
I don't know about that.
He's a better left winger than I've been giving him credit for.
Yeah, I agree.
Because he's not bad on the left wing.
You never want to see him play the Elise thing.
Yeah.
Right? But I was literally about to say, we had so many conversations in the summer about Arsenal and who they should sign.
Yeah.
We take Elise, but how can we take Elise if we have Saka?
And
like we don't want to see what Elise's game looks like
on the left wing,
and now he has to.
But I want to see Elise's game less than I want to see Neto's game.
Agreed.
Because Neto, we've seen him beat his man on the left wing, and I'll just stand that one up and I'll ask the Nicholas Jackson to get on the end of it.
But compared to his game on the right, I think you just have to play him on the right. You just have to play. Even because he was playing on the left for a bit when Noni was playing, and I would talk to Arman, and eventually, because Arman's a big Noni guy, and he was like, "Yeah, they can both play," and Neto's playing well on the left. And eventually, Arman was like, "Yeah, Neto, he's so much better on the right. Like, that's his position. I think he's so good, and part of the reason he was a guy that I think both of us kind of, for a long time, wanted at Arsenal, but then you have the like logical conversation of like, can we really spend 60 million on Neto when Saka is clearly
going to be the best?
You can't. It doesn't make sense, right? And you don't want to sign Neto and play him on the left and do whatever. But I think he's a baller. I think Chelsea have got a good player there. But the goals and assists thing, I agree with. Like, he needs to up that.
Get more. Well, hopefully not.
Well, yeah, hopefully, yeah. First place, and fairly unanimous. Everyone voted for him. I was the only one that had him first. Michael had him second. Nick had him second. Bat had him second. Amadou Onana.
Yeah.
Went from Everton to Villa for 50.
Yeah.
50 million. And quite simply, I can explain why Onana's first on my list in a sentence or two, is because I think he gets into every midfield in the league. Man City, Arsenal, Man United, Tottenham, Liverpool, Newcastle. Newcastle's a tough one. Newcastle's midfield is very dirty, but I would still have Onana in there. And if he gets into all of those midfields, all of the best,
do you know why he would still get in? Because Joelinton's that versatile. I'll just play Joelinton in the wing then.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Just move him out there, and if you have to shift the pieces around, and maybe Tonali goes a bit further forward.
Joelinton can protect Lewis Hall.
yeah. 100. But like you know what I'm saying? Like, and then so if he gets into all of the best teams in the so-called best league, I think he has to go and be number one. And Villa have copped him.
Yeah, he's like 6'4", 6'5", solid as a rock, bro. He gets up and down. He's tidy on the ball. He's tidy enough on the ball.
Yeah, breaks up play.
Scoring goals in his first couple of weeks, becoming a goal threat, man.
Yeah.
I think everyone kind of knew though that when this one was signed off and Villa were like,
it was a good signing.
That was
United fans were very annoyed at the time.
Yeah, I mean they missed out for sure.
They were saying that. They knew that.
Onana, he is to be fair, just a Premier League player. In the modern day, in any era, whatever era you want to talk about the Premier League, there's always been a midfielder of the Onana type or the Onana.
I made the comparison earlier because our number 10 was Sander Berger, but it's very much Sander Berger, Onana, Declan Rice.
Yeah,
but those three midfielders, you need that prototype
in your team,
in any serious team.
Yeah, I agreed. 100% agreed. And
he is one that Michael will tell you I was
desperate for in the summer
for Arsenal to sign.
No, it's true. It's true. I think I wouldn't put it past Onana as well to try and move up in a year's time. Yeah. Douglas Luiz thing. I don't know if he'll go to Juventus or leave the country.
I don't think he'll go to another Prem team. In a year's time? The Villa are going to ask for They're asking PSG for 80 for Duran. PSG have come and asked for Duran, and Villa told them 80 million.
To be fair, it might not be a Prem team.
I think he could go abroad. He could do that.
It might not be a Prem team. I could, I don't want to start putting any rumors out there or anything. Yeah. But no, I think I can see him Onana seems like the kind of guy who's like, yes, I'm happy to be at Villa, but I want to be at the top of the game.
Yeah.
I want to, you know.
I mean, he might not, in the rest of his career, he might not be in a midfield that's better balanced
than this one, yeah.
Like, even for him, you could say could go into any midfield. Pairing him with Tielemans and Rodgers, or Tielemans and Barkley.
And Villa only seem to be making smart signings. Like, whoever they're linked, I'm like, oh, well, that'll be good for Villa, you know?
When Emery has control, man, he's not letting Raul Sanelli do
no brown envelopes.
Yeah, the brown envelope thing. But no, I think Liverpool fans were annoyed as well. I think I've said before that if Liverpool had signed Onana in the summer, I think that would have been long.
And Onana, Gravenberch midfield. Onana, Gravenberch, McAllister.
Like the thing about Xander Berger, Onana, Declan Rice, that kind of type of midfielder. As much as I say that the Villa midfield is balanced for Onana, those midfielders just make a midfield balance.
Yeah. Because you can do this now.
Whatever you want to put next to them, you can put a Martin Odegaard, who's not going to challenge for 50-50s and just want to go and do a forward play. And you can put a Jorginho, who's not an athletic guy and maybe can't get up and down. But because you have that prototype of midfielder,
anything's possible.
The whole thing just balanced.
It speaks to Villa's Champions League record. It speaks to Villa's form in big games this season. It's true, and Onana's been out for a bit.
Yeah,
but he's back now.
Yeah,
I do think he probably is the best signing, and maybe best value for money. Oh, tough to say.
Yeah, maybe even Evan Nilsson. For value for money. But I'll go through this one more time. The top 10. So in 10th place we had Xander Berger. 9th place we had David Raya. 8th Evan Nilsson. 7th Solanke. 6th Liam Delap. 5th Ricardo Calafiori. 4th Milenkovic. 3rd Emil Smith-Rowe. 2nd Pedro Neto. And number 1, our best summer signing of 2024 was Amadou Onana.
Not Andre.
Yeah, Amadou. Before I said it, I made sure I got that one right. But thank you guys for listening. Hopefully you enjoyed that episode. Normally we do MVPs and rookies on the other episode, but this is the only one we've got this week. So MVPs and rookies. I haven't actually written any down this week.
We know MVP G3 Jello. I might swerve and hit that corner. Whoa.
I might swerve in that corner. Whoa. 100 tweaker. Jello, go stream that.
Stream that. New Heat just dropped.
Yeah, I love that song. It's being played everywhere. Viral song. If you don't know about it, get to know.
I'll give
LaMelo.
Yeah.
I didn't know whether you were going to go Jello or LaMelo. LaMelo needs to get one.
LaMelo needs to get one. There's a ton of basketball guys that need to get one.
The Suns the other
Shea
day
needs to get one for beating the Celtics.
Yeah.
And then Mitchell needs to get one for beating Shea.
Yeah, for beating OKC. Big time.
Evan Mobley. I hear the season you're having, monster season.
Darius Garland. Yeah, well played.
Clutch.
Well played.
You know?
And the Cavs record in general.
Yeah, man. Best team. I think they're 20-0 against top teams in the West. You know, it's crazy. Other MVPs.
Eddie Howe.
Yeah, Eddie Howe definitely deserves an MVP. Dunked on us. Boy.
There's enough on that one.
Exactly.
Dunked on us. That's it.
Ruben
Amorim.
Yeah, Ruben Amorim.
For the Anfield game.
For sure. It's a massive
Bruno Fernandes,
result.
Manuel Ugarte. All of those guys dropped monster classes in that game.
Rookies, I know I'm giving a rookie to.
Jimmy.
Nah. Well, he wasn't the first one.
Would you have given Jimmy MVP or rookie?
Do you know what, man? I still am so undecided on the Jimmy situation because I'm always hearing like conflicting messages. If it's a money thing, I'm giving Jimmy a rookie. Yeah. Okay. But if it's like, if Jimmy's upset that Miami haven't given him a second superstar or any sort of help with the points, the points load that Jimmy's had to deal with, then I think Miami deserve sort of the hoopla that's coming with all of this.
But you're not one for ring chasing moves.
I am not one for ring chasing moves, and
that would be what Jimmy's doing, right?
But
it's not money. It's
I already have my bad on Jimmy because I was telling Jimmy after the Philly go and ring chase. He's like the only guy I've ever told to go and ring chase. And then Jimmy went to Miami, and I was like, "There's no one in Miami." Bam, and a couple. Bam was young, and all this kind of stuff.
So this would be his first one.
Yeah,
not like James Harden.
They're saying that he's going to go to the Suns potentially. They're saying that the Suns have 120 mil for Jimmy, just waiting. I don't know how the Suns have 120 mil. They'd have to get rid of Bradley Beal.
The same KD should go to Minnesota.
Yeah, KD should go. I know KD wants to play with Anthony Edwards. I've been saying this for how long now?
KD wants to play with Anthony Edwards, or Edwards wants to play with KD?
They want to play with each other. Yeah, it's my best friend. But the rookie I want to give, the rookie of the week, Jamie Carragher. And I want to give Jamie Carragher a rookie of the week because I think no one is blowing out of proportion this contract situation stuff.
Yeah.
More than Jamie Carragher.
Tune in for our next episode because we will talk about the Trent stuff and everything that's going on. But
I just feel as if, like, obviously it's a bad situation for the club, for Liverpool, the players. They don't really know what they do know what's going to happen next, but all of this kind of stuff. But every 2 or 3 days, Jamie's cussing out Mo Salah, Mo Salah's cussing out Jamie, Jamie's cussing out Trent saying I'm not really getting respected, and it's all
Salah's tweeting, I think you're obsessed with me.
Yeah, it's all in front of us. And then I'm seeing Jamie do some loser stuff and like do love hearts and prayer emojis for Liverpool tweets about him in 2019 when I'm like, bro, allow it.
He's desperate.
He's desperate, man. And I think he's going for a bit of an identity crisis. I don't know if he thinks or where he stands with the fans right now. Fans are with Salah. They want Salah to stay. Anything that Salah says, Salah, yes, Salah, please. Can't believe the club ever made him an offer. All of this kind of stuff, yeah. But Jamie saying, I know football, I know the game, and I know this, and I know Liverpool, and I would never do this to Liverpool, Liverpool.
Yeah.
Jamie's my rookie of the week, man. You're making it as messy as it could possibly be with all of this contract stuff, and every day it seeps out into the TL, and I'm like, bro, I thought you would want this under wraps. I thought you'd want this behind closed doors.
Yeah. He'll say that he's paid to give his opinion, though.
No, he is paid to give his opinion, but I don't know, man. He's going head to head with club legends, bigger legends than him potentially at the club.
Yeah,
you know. So you got if you're gonna come for the king, you better not miss, man. Yeah. You can't say all of this stuff about Salah signs, and now you just left Salah off your best right wingers of whatever that list was. You know.
He didn't pick Salah in his team of the year.
You can't be saying all of this kind of stuff.
There's a bit of a madness going on there, and especially with the Trent thing as well. It's like he's doing mental gymnastics with his Trent. So like, I'm here, take that stand and this point of view, and I'll move here and take this point of view.
He was 3 weeks ago saying that how Trent would be less of a hero and less of a legend if he was to leave for free, and now
on Sunday it was like, no, of course he's a legend.
I have no issue with him. I have no issue with him leaving for free because he came for free.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, but you didn't say that though 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
You weren't saying.
And this will continue.
That's my rookie for sure. That's a nailed on.
Any other rookies?
Yeah. Somebody I have been calling Socrates from the day he's joined. And we've just given his manager, and we've just given Ahmad, and we've just given Bruno, and we've just given all of these guys MVPs.
Yeah.
But De Ligt is definitely a rookie of the week. 2 direct goals on his head in the Liverpool game. And De Ligt, that first one that Gakpo scored, De Ligt will give that away again this season. Hold your hat.
Hopefully on Sunday.
Hold your hat. De Ligt will give that one away. If not, he'll give the penalty away. That one is also coming again.
Hopefully
Hold your hat. He's got his hand in an unnatural position, waiting again. De Ligt is a scrub.
Yeah. I think the Socrates comparison is apt.
It's so apt.
Yeah.
De Ligt is a scrub. And just look at him on the ball. I'm thinking, I think that's how Socrates used to strike the ball.
The similarities are eerie. United fans are saying take him out for Euro for their game on Sunday. But yeah, I think that's it from us. Oh no, it's not. MVP. Firstly, AC Milan. And I never thought I'd give this guy an MVP on this podcast, but Sergio Conceição.
Oi. Those videos kill me.
I think that is great, man. I love that. The way Sergio Conceição celebrates and the changing room and
the
whole team. He's come in, first game for AC Milan, semi-final versus Juve. they win that 2-1 coming from behind. They're 1-0 down. Second game for AC Milan, the final against Inter, they're 2-0 down, and they come back and win 3-2. And it was one of the best games of football I've watched in a while. The quality was so high. I tried to tell Michael to watch it.
Yeah, it was down bad.
He was under the weather at the point.
It was down bad. Under reconstruction.
But the quality in that game was unbelievable. Theo Hernandez, Rafael Leao, Tammy Abraham, all of them, Bastoni. But Sergio Conceição and AC Milan, you get an MVP from me.
Yeah, shout out to that.
But yeah, look, thank you guys for listening. We'll be back next week with a roundup. There are some midweek fixtures, so we'll speak and we'll see how we organize that. But let us know what you think of our top 10 signings, who you would have had if you think we've missed anyone. And 2025, we're here for another year.
We're here. See you.
So thank you guys for listening. We'll see you next week. Peace.